Hey everyone, Couch Investor back to another video for today. So tomorrow is the big day, March 1st, Investor Day for Tesla. I think this is going to be extremely exciting, not just for Tesla shareholders, but for the overall auto market. Now, as I said before, I'm going to do more reaction videos on this channel. The last one I did, you liked it a lot. I reacted to Chicken Genius's video. If you missed that, it's going to be in the top right corner. This one, we're going to react to Farzad's video about Tesla's $25,000 car that will break the auto market and the internet. Now, I already marked here a couple of highlights that I want to touch on. I'm not going to go over the 24-minute video, but first of all, hit that thumbs up button, not just on my video, but on Farzad videos as well, as I just did. I will link it down in the description, of course. I would love it if Farzad would come on the channel to have an interview. I think that would be awesome. So if you're watching this, hit me up on Twitter or somehow open up your DM so I can send you a message. Then second of all, if you enjoy this type of videos and you have not subscribed yet to this channel, maybe hit that subscribe button. If you want to support me even further, do check out the links down in the description and in the pinned comment to get the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. So let's start. Now I did start this video, and in the middle of the video, he talks about leasing, right? For those people that don't want to buy the car, you can lease it. Now, of course, he did some comparisons with ICE vehicles, for example, a Toyota Corolla, which is and should be very cheap. Now, overall, the numbers apply for everyone, whether you want to lease or whether you want to buy the car. So we're going to do some math here. Well, he did the math for us, so we're just going to watch, and again, I'm going to add some context to it. I'm going to add some context that my little friend Bing the Chat AI bot gave to me as well. Now, just so we're clear, these are the numbers, these are assumptions. We're just assuming things right now, right? They said half the cost, so we're taking metrics from XYZ. We take that and we cut it in half. We take that number and then apply some extra percentage here and there, and we get an outcome. This is great when you want to make assumptions, when you might want to make projections. In the real world, usually it doesn't work like this, but that's fine. Right now we're making projections. Maybe the error rate here is not going to be that big when we actually get some real numbers, but this is just so you get a bigger picture of how big the opportunity here actually is. So to do the math, he basically goes and looks at the total deliveries, which was 405,278. And then we look at the total automotive cost of revenues. And what do we do with that? Well, basically we take those two numbers, we divide them one with each other, and we get a number which should be 39, well, close to, let's say, $40,000. And now, as they say, they could make the compact car at roughly half the cost. So
Musk and the Tesla team is that this new compact car is going to be roughly half the cost of the 3 and Y platform. The key thing to remember here with this $38,000, $39,000 number is that it includes the Y and the S, which are $100,000 cars. So this price is going to be slightly, this cost rather, is going to be slightly higher than what the actual cost of the 3 and the Y is. However, to be conservative, let's take this number anyway, and then apply roughly half the cost to it, which is about $19,474. But in reality, if we just want to round it up and just make it easy for us to do the math, we can assume that this new compact car is going to cost Tesla roughly, once they're at full ramp and they have all the production stuff figured out, $20,000 for each compact car to build. And if we take that and we compare it to what they're saying that they should be able to sell it for, hopefully in the coming years here, of about $25,000, this means that Tesla, under their current cost structure, how much it costs them to build a car today, cutting it at half and selling it for $25,000, this means that Tesla's going to be able to make about $5,000 in profit for each compact car sold, or roughly 20% margin, which for that type of vehicle is completely unheard of. Legacy car makers, when they sell these types of cars, they typically break even or lose money. All their money is made rather, by selling SUVs and pickup trucks.
So again, touching on what I said before, these are assumptions, right? We've taken cars like the Model S and the Model X here as well, which cost way more. But if we assume that we get the number 40,000, roughly half the cost, 20,000, sell it for 25, $5,000 profit here, right? Pretty nice. Now, in the future, these assumptions will be a bit more difficult to make. If you suddenly include Tesla Semi and the Cybertruck as well, then the numbers will become a bit, well, too large, let's say. But why is this so important? Why is a $25,000 car so important? And I'm not just talking about, well, this will open up Tesla's total addressable market because it could sell, let's say, in South America, Central America, Southeast Asia as well, where people don't have that much money to spend on the car. What if I told you that even in Europe, the average selling price is pretty low compared to the United States? If you don't believe me, let's have a look at what Chat Bing had to say. So here we are. I asked it, what is the average price of a car in Europe? So according to a research article from Bing.com, the real cost of owning a car in EU. So Europeans pay on average 27,500 euros, which is roughly $30,000 for a new car. But prices vary significantly per country. For example, in Italy, the average price for a car is 22,500, while in Germany, that's approximately 32,000 euros. Now, if you compare that to the United States, for example, you can clearly see the difference here. The average price of a non-luxury vehicle was around $45,000. That's back then in 2021. I believe we'll get some extra numbers in the video as well. While the average price of a new luxury vehicle was $67,000. The average price of an electric vehicle was $57,667. Now, of course, I think right now that's a bit more if I'm not mistaken. But here you can clearly see, right, the difference, why it's so important. It's not just opening up new markets in Southeast Asia, South America, Central America, maybe in Africa. Let's say, no, it's going to open a huge, huge market in Europe, which in Europe is a very, very lucrative market for everyone. And that's the key point. As he said in the video, why are cars so expensive in the United States? Well, because they make a lot of money selling SUVs, selling pickup trucks. They don't make a lot of money selling compact cars. So if Tesla somehow manages to have approximately 20% margin there, I mean, the sky's the limit. Now going back to the video here, so he then touches again on the leasing thing. So apparently, after some calculations, of course, with incentives, IRA, etc. against, those are just assumptions. We don't know what might happen when that compact car comes out. We don't know when that will come out, but after all of these assumptions, you get to a point where it's $150 cheaper per month than a Corolla. Now, what's included in those assumptions? Well, first of all, it's 50% less fuel cost. Then we have the EV driving dynamics. You also have fraction of the maintenance. We've seen this with regards to Hertz, right? Electrifying their fleets, which is costing them way less than before when it comes to maintenance. We've had some sources say that, well, a certain police department is also electrifying their fleets and their cost cuts there is going to be huge. So again, take all of this and put that into the assumptions. Tesla's performance, of course, the infotainment as well. And then whether you believe in this or not, but you also get autonomous hardware where you as a consumer can activate later on, but it's already in the car. And so now we're reaching the point again of explaining why a compact car is so important.
So let's put this within the context of the US economy and why this is such a huge deal. Why an affordable car at this price level with this such a disparity in user set and feature set is such a huge deal. This is from Unusual Whales, a great account to follow on Twitter. I highly recommend you check out this account. As of today, as of February 19th, 50% of Americans cannot afford a $1,000 emergency expense per Fortune, which is a publication. If you're watching this, you probably are in this bucket. It sucks to be in this position. It's financial strain. It's not. Monthly payment for a new car has increased to a record. Balances have hit a record high of $986 billion in the US. This is as of February 20th. The average monthly payment for a new car has increased to a record $777, nearly doubling from late 2019, according to Kelley Blue Book owner Coxham Automotive. Again, February 20th. The average price for a new vehicle in the US has jumped to almost $50,000, up 30% since 2019, according to JP Morgan. Again, February 20th. There is real, legitimate economic strain on the US economy. And of course, people are free to spend whatever they want and spend whatever money they want. But the truth of the matter is if there is a compelling car that's affordable that people are going to love, it could sell so well that it will surprise a lot of people.
Okay, so I'm pausing here again. By the way, there was also some stat, maybe I can find the tweet again, where approximately 50 to 53% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. But including in that sample, let's say, are people that are making $100,000 a year. So, first of all, I'll say if you're earning or making $100,000 a year and you're living paycheck to paycheck, I'm not judging here, but you're probably living above what you actually can afford. Sorry to say this, but this is the reality. Second of all, 67% of statistics are made up. And yes, I just made up this statistics as well. Now, of course, you can always skew the numbers in the way that you want, but to say that over 50% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and in those numbers, it's included that people that earn $100,000 a year cannot live, are living paycheck to paycheck, to me, it's completely ridiculous. And that's why, again, this comes up here. The market for a compelling, affordable car is completely unaddressed. And now you must ask yourself, well, why aren't automakers making smaller cars if the people are apparently wanting to buy, well, waiting to buy a compact car? Well, first of all, as we've seen, automakers, well, the traditional automakers won't make a lot of money by selling $20,000 to $25,000 cars. They just won't make enough money. They barely survive today, right? And that's by selling expensive vehicles. So why should they? Why should they push for a cheaper car? To that, we go and have a little listen to what Steve Jobs had to say.
As we have tried to come up with a strategy and a vision for Apple, it started with what incredible benefits can we give to the customer? Where can we take the customer? Not starting with, let's sit down with the engineers and figure out what awesome technology we have, and then how are we going to market that?
Okay, first of all, this is a type of inception. I'm watching Farzad watching a Steve Jobs conference. Now, did you hear what he said? Apple, and we've heard this for a long, long time before, they are making products that you don't even know you need, right? Right now, the traditional automakers, they're fine with you spending a lot of money on a car, not really looking for a compact car. They're fine, they're in their comfort zone, everything is fine. And that's where Tesla comes in. Tesla comes in and will go and start building cars that are made for your comfort, that are made for your finances, let's say. They're not waiting to see, maybe they'll want it, maybe we can see with the engineers what we can do better, and then let's see what the market says. No, they're here, they come out, they create great products, and here, give it to the customers. This is what you want. This is what you can afford. This is what you will buy. And this is, again, to me, it's pretty sad that Steve Jobs is not here today, because I do think that Apple would have been, I think, a much better company under him. It's not to say that it's not a great company today, but I think Steve Jobs and even Elon Musk, I think, would have worked pretty well together. Now, we're nearing the end here. So basically, to summarize his video, he made this slide right here. So Tesla's compact $25,000 car, $250 per month for the lease, 0 down, supercharger network, EV performance, great infotainment, 50% less fuel cost, almost no maintenance, and then, whether you believe it or not, there's automotive hardware that could work and could be regulated and approved in the coming years. So it really becomes a no-brainer. Now again, it has to be announced first for it to become a reality. And then even when it gets announced, it has to be produced and then ramping up mass production to the mass market. And so the last question that he asked the viewers, and I'm asking you as well, how many compact cars could Tesla sell? Let's say on Wednesday they announce it, how many will they sell approximately? To that question, I give you a little hint to the situation in Europe. So I asked it, how many non-luxury cars are sold in Europe each and every year? Now, they say it's a bit difficult to find those numbers. So they say here, however, according to one source, customers in European markets purchased 900,000 passenger cars in October 2022, Another source reported that the new passenger vehicles registrations in European Union decreased by 2.4%, not surprised there, to 9.7 million cars in 2021. But these numbers include both luxury and non-luxury cars, so the actual number of non-luxury car sales may be lower, but at least now you have an approximate number there. If you want the same for the United States, let's ask it. So here as well, it tells me that the exact number is not easy to find, but he says here, however, according to one source, the auto industry in the United States sold approximately, let's say, 15 million light vehicle units in 2021. This figure includes retail sales of about 3.3 million autos and just under 11.6 million light trucks. Now, of course, these numbers include both luxury and non-luxury vehicle, so the actual number of non-luxury car sales may be lower. So now you've got the full picture here, of course, from what we've discussed in Farzad's video, and now with the information we got here, of course, I'm sure you can find the exact information if you go through a couple of websites, but overall, the impact will be real here. And it's going to be a very, very positive effect on Tesla and probably a very negative effect on legacy car makers, because suddenly they will be pushed to maybe also launch a cheaper model of their car. But we all know that right now, when it comes to EV making, we've seen Volkswagen, for example, not really going to build new EV making factories, right? They rather use their old factories and transform those into EV making one. We know that this is not the way to go, right? So, unfortunately, if Tesla announces tomorrow a compact car, again, the ETA, the estimated time of arrival of that car, we don't know. If they say 2024, I would be very, very surprised. But it's going to be huge for Tesla, not so great for the competition, because they will be forced to produce a car that they won't make enough money on. And even today, they're not really making that much money with the expensive cars that they are making. So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. Of course, I'm going to summarize it at the end of the week on Saturday on the weekly summer video when it comes to Tesla. So that will be it for this video. If you enjoy this type of videos, do let me know down in the comments below. Should I do more reaction videos? And if you want to help me out, do go and tell Farzad that he should come on the channel. I think it's going to be a fun interview. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.